What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. I'm your host, JT. That's me, and my co-host is my dad. And first, don't forget to like.
And subscribe.
Now let's begin. Today we're going to be doing a free agent episode just like last time, but this time it's defense.
Yep. But before we go and dive into that, we can talk about what's a little of the news that have recently come up about the Niners.
So we re-signed Tabor Pepper, our long snapper, to a 3-year deal, $1.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, you were totally excited when you heard that
I was
news.
screaming. You guys know I wanted him to be a Pro Bowler, but he wasn't for some reason.
Maybe next season, huh? Sure. Yeah. So that was a good signing. We did need to lock up some of those special teams people. I guess that leads us to the other special teams person that it doesn't seem like he's going to be coming back. That is Robbie Gould.
Yeah, our kicker, he's kicking somewhere else. I don't know where it is. It might be in Chicago, but you served us nothing as king. He's done some stuff, I guess.
He, at the end of the year, at the end of the season, he sounded like he was one to continue with the Niners and help us try and win the next Super Bowl and everything. But I guess after a little bit of thinking and talking, he decided that he doesn't want to play in San Francisco anymore. He doesn't want to play for the Niners. So farewell, Robbie Gould, I guess. So, it was good to have you when you were around, but I guess we got to move forward, move on, and I guess we have the draft to look forward to for a possible kicker, and even maybe free agency.
Yeah, we can get like Mason Crosby in there.
Ooh, yeah, he could be a little bit pricey, but actually, Robbie Gould was like what I heard was the fourth highest kicker in the NFL. So if Mason Crosby is not up there, maybe we can afford Mason Crosby.
I want to draft a new kicker though. I want to start new and not worry about a kicker anymore.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like Shanahan might like veterans for kickers. A little more reliable. Um, we'll see who's out there. Mason Crosby, or you told me Matt Prater was also one of those guys that are available um, as a free agent kicker. Zerline. Um, Brett Mayer.
More.
Mar. Okay, sorry. Okay, I was just joking, anyways. Yeah, we're checking Sport Track right now for Matt Prater, who was a kicker for the Arizona Cardinals.
3.7 million. I thought it would be cheaper.
That's pretty cheap. I think Robbie Gould was getting something in the fives, in the 5 millions per year. So he's actually a little bit of a bargain, huh? Mason Crosby does not have any market value on Spotrac, so we can't tell how much he might be worth. Last average salary with Green Bay was 4.3 million.
Oh.
Hey, so that sounds pretty good. Mason Crosby, that guy's been kicking in Green Bay in the snow. Well, let me see. Okay. Robbie Gould's average salary I see at Spotrac. Guess I misspoken. It was 3.6 million. So pretty close. He's about that much. So we could. Now unless there's some kind of bidding war for Mason Crosby, which there could be. Could mark up his price a little bit higher, but that could be a person we might go for. I wouldn't mind him, but like you said, there's kickers in the draft. Not too sure if they're as good as Mason Crosby or Robbie Gould, so we'll see. Anyways, moving forward, there's a few more things that happened in the news real quick. Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, we tendered him.
Yeah, we tendered him He's a restricted free agent, so we tendered him. That means he's ours for at least one more year. You know,
And he become unrestricted.
yeah. A few other free agent people that news is about. Not too sure how valid it is,
It's
but
rumors.
Baker Mayfield. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, we're interested in signing him. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, Albert Breer. I don't know who he writes for, but somebody reported that. I don't know how true that is. It's hard to believe. We'd be interested in Mayfield. Uh, Another quarterback, Mason Rudolph. Uh,
You say you didn't like him early.
no, I do not want him at all. No thanks. Another person that there is rumors about. Of course, it's rumors. Khalil Mack.
There's no way we'd have to give up our next year's first. I don't want that.
No, he's a free agent, isn't he? Is he not?
Is he?
Maybe he isn't. I didn't see him on
I
defensive
thought it
end
was like
free
he's
agency.
trading.
Ooh.
Is he considered like a linebacker? I no, do not trade for him. Don't
Yeah.
you dare.
Yeah, I don't. I do not know what we would trade. Maybe a running back? I
Mitchell?
think that would be the only person.
I please no.
A running back, an injury prone running back, or a possible Hall of Fame defensive end. I don't know. That's a
That
tough
might
one.
not be as good.
Yeah, but still, he still did pretty good last year. He has been. He has not fallen off at all. Uh, 8, 10 sacks, some of that. That is good production. I would do that. I would totally do that. You know, love Elijah Mitchell, but that is a good trade. Okay, so let's move on to the free agent part of this show that we were going to do. We're concentrating on defense, but particular positions on defense, or was defensive end, cornerback, and free safety. We looked at the defensive um, interior tackles, and I'm not very familiar with any of them, so I'm not even going to say who I would like because I would just be throwing a dart in the dark trying to get a name for that. I don't know. So we're going to start with defensive ends first. I made a short list of players, defensive ends. So I always have a hard time pronouncing his name. Who's the first one on our list?
Unique Ningwakwe. I believe.
Is that it? Okay. 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 We'll go with that. Niguakwe. Ooh, that's hard. He played in Indianapolis last year. He's pretty productive, and he seems to be always moving to a new team. So, a short term deal would be probably what he would be wanting or he would usually be getting. So, that's perfect for us. Um, so, no long term crazy deal. And he's been productive with sacks and whatnot. So, hopefully he can fit with the Niners. Another guy is Matt Ioannidis. That's a tough one.
Onitis? I
He
don't
is
know.
a pretty productive defensive end, and he played for Carolina. Steve Wilkes. So if he likes him and he thinks he's a good player, and maybe that guy would want to come to the Niners and play opposite Nick Bosa, play on the number one defense in the NFL, and play for his old coach. Sounds too good to be true, right?
How expensive is he? How expensive do you think he will be?
Oh, I don't know. I can look that up. In the meantime, I had a couple of other players too that I was looking at that might be some people that haven't really played well, um, but was a high round pick.
Cleveland Farrell,
Okay, that's one of them. Yes,
third
um,
overall pick.
the
He's
Raiders,
kind
wasn't
of a
he?
bust. Yeah, he's a bust, but good depth. If he signs with us, I wouldn't really mind too much because I think he'll be a good backup. I wouldn't expect him to start. Down go to Drake Jackson, or if he draft a defensive end, or sign a, a starting caliber defensive end, he's not going to be a starter.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where we rehab the guy and make him look good, like we did with Arden Key and um, who else was it? Hurst and other players
Maurice
that.
Hurst didn't do anything. He didn't play like one snap for us.
Oh, okay. It was another player. We make them better, right? They come to us for a 1 year deal, and then they go somewhere else. So that's what I'm hoping we could do with him too. Um, Spotrac doesn't have anything on Matthew Initis, but I can see how much he made last year at least. I did already, yeah, just slow Wi-Fi. Anyways, next up, Robert Quinn. That was an old. He's an older player. Came with the Rams for a while. So
He got traded to the Eagles.
he probably didn't do much because I don't remember hearing his
Yeah.
name. He was just a backup. And
Hey, just stacked the defensive line anyway.
um,
But maybe you could teach Drake Jackson a few things. I do think that's Nick Bush's job already.
yep. Um, Arden Key is a guy that was with us, and now he's a free agent. He went to Jacksonville, I think, and now he's a free agent. I think that'd be a good fit for us. Of course, we know who he is. He knows us, and shouldn't be too expensive. Um, Another guy that I like, I've been liking, real old man guy, Justin Houston. That guy is like, I don't know how old he is, 38 or something, 35, 38.
He's like 33.
I thought he was older.
32, 33.
He's still productive, man, and I'm sure he's going to do a 1 year deal. He has been doing 1 year deals for a while now, and I think we can totally afford him. And he's still productive. Let's put him in. Let's bring him.
Nine
He
and a
he
half
could do
sacks.
something. Phew, man. So looking at Matt Ioannidis, his contract average salary was oh 9 million per year, 9.5.
Okay. I might throw that one away.
Defensive ends, they're a little expensive. You gotta pay a little bit more.
That would be the negative.
Oh man, I know. We're gonna have to restructure. We gotta restructure some contracts. Give us some room. Do some fancy structuring with our with our cap. So, all right. So moving on. Next is cornerback. We have a couple of cornerbacks. A few cornerbacks we have on the list. One of them is a slot. Who is the slot?
Troy Hill
Okay.
from the Rams. He's gonna ask for a May 4 million, but that's according to the.
Spotrac says about under 4 million a year for him for Troy Hill. He did play with the Rams, and we do need a slot corner since Jimmy Ward's gone, and we don't have anybody else.
Womack.
But you don't know. You just don't know what he is because he wasn't good enough to start last season. So does he make the jump? Don't know. So just in case, we can have a veteran to be the starter, and then if Womack looks better, he can be the backup or take over if he's that good. So I would like to do that. Yeah. Another guy that I don't know that I like as a corner. I'm not too sure if you do, but Patrick Peterson. He looked really good last year. He played very well as a number 2 corner with the Vikings. Hey, we they're always saying that Lenore could play slot, but right now because the Mosley is a free agent and injured, that Lenore has to play outside corner. If we get Patrick Peterson playing cornerback too, Lenore can go to slot. Boom, it's not too bad. Sport is looking at a market value of about 6.4 million per year.
Too
So
expensive.
okay, yeah.
He might be. I don't know.
What's another 1 or 2 mil? Come on, between friends. The last person on our cornerback list is Cameron Thomas. I saw this.
Sutton.
Sorry, did I say Thomas? Cameron Sutton. Thank you. I did see an article about him being a perfect fit on 49ers web zone. They say he would be a perfect fit for our defense. He's looking at 7.6 million on Spotrac.
Yeah, he's from the Steelers, by the way.
Yeah. So man, if we can get a starting caliber cornerback, man, that will strengthen our secondary so much. Speaking of secondary, we need a free safety. Say if Gibson does not come back.
Oh, you're retired.
Well, yeah, exactly. He retires. Um, we have a couple of people here.
Lamarcus Joyner, he's from the Jets. He's looking at 4.1 million um as a free agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's cheap enough where we can sign him.
yeah, yeah. He's a little small, right? And he's on the older side, but that's exactly who the bridge safety can be for us.
Yeah, he's 5'8".
And the great thing is, he played for the Jets last year. What kind of defense they run?
Robert Sala type defense.
Exactly, which is Niner type defense. So he'll fit in. That's pretty good. And he got a couple of interceptions, so he's not a super ball hawking, but semi ball hawking, let's just say. Um, who do we got left? The last person on our free safety list.
Ronnie McLeod, 1.7 million a year, maybe.
Yeah, market value is about 1.7. That's really cheap. He played for Indianapolis last year, and
2 interceptions.
he had 2 interceptions last year. So it's maybe an average amount.
And he's 31 years old.
Not as good as Gibson, but uh, yeah. How old is he?
31.
Okay, that's not too bad. Another bridge safety. We can draft a free safety that can hopefully, you know, be the future. But for now, we need somebody. If Gibson does not come back to us, so yep. Whew, that's it for the defense. We'll have to do another off-season episode soon.
Yeah, it's about the combine. It just finished. There's some pretty good players that showed up there, like Elijah Canty. I told you he'd be the fastest defensive tackle. He ran faster than Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. There's a lot of athletic people out there in the draft. Unfortunately, we won't be able to choose until late third round for now.
I want DJ Turner.
You
He's
just
the
want speed,
fastest.
man.
I need. We need the need. We have the need for speed. But
Uh,
someone I'm actually like looking at is Jalen Redmond. He came in like second for your desk, and then he came in fourth for bench reps, and he got first for vertical and broad, and first for 3-cone too. It's like
and don't you think
perfect.
he's gonna be a first round pick then?
Well, what he did in college was pretty good, but after his showing at the combine, yeah, he might go second round.
Yeah.
But too perfect, just like Kaji Kanshi is.
We're gonna do a little deeper dive into offense, defense, and of course special teams, kickers. So we'll do our research, see who we like, who we hope we might be able to draft at our position. So it'll be interesting coming up, talking about the combine, and then soon after, free agency is coming around. My God, what, March 15th, right around the corner. So a lot of things happening, coming up quick and fast. So we'll do some more podcasts and keep you all updated.
Yeah, the free agency's March 15th, and then draft is late April.
Yeah. So a lot of things happening soon. That would be great. Very exciting.
Fortunately, we had to wait until the one of the last picks in day 2. Very late. Well, at least next year we'll have a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.